Diego Maradona Biography, International Career. Maradona on the ball against the Soviet Union at the 1979 FIFA World Youth Championship final. During his time with the Argentina national team, Maradona scored 34 goals in 91 appearances. He made his full international debut at age 16, against Hungary, on February 27, 1977. Maradona was left off the Argentine squad for the 1978 World Cup on home soil by coach Cesar Luis Menotti, who felt he was too young at age 17. At age 18, Maradona played the 1979 FIFA World Youth Championship in Japan and emerged as the star of the tournament, shining in Argentina's 3-1 final win over the Soviet Union, scoring a total of 6 goals in 6 appearances in the tournament. On June 2, 1979, Maradona scored his first senior international goal in a 3-1 win against Scotland at Hampden Park. He went on to play for Argentina in 2 1979 Copa America ties during August 1979, a 2-1 loss against Brazil and a 3-0 win over Bolivia in which he scored his side's third goal. Speaking 30 years later on the impact of Maradona's performances in 1979, FIFA President Sepp Blatter stated, "Everyone has an opinion on Diego Armando Maradona, and that's been the case since his playing days. My most vivid recollection is of this incredibly gifted kid at the second FIFA U20 World Cup in Japan in 1979. He left everyone open-mouthed every time he got on the ball. Maradona and his compatriot Lionel Messi are the only players to win the Golden Ball at both the FIFA U20 World Cup and FIFA World Cup. Maradona did so in 1979 and 1986, which Messi emulated in 2005 and 2014. 1982 World Cup. Maradona played his first World Cup tournament in 1982 in his new country of residence, Spain. Argentina played Belgium in the opening game of the 1982 Cup at the Camp Nou in Barcelona. The Catalan crowd was eager to see their new world record-signing Maradona in action, but he did not perform to expectations, as Argentina, the defending champions, lost 1-0. Although the team convincingly beat both Hungary and El Salvador in Alicante to progress to the second round, there were internal tensions within the team, with the younger, less experienced players at odds with the older, more experienced players. In a team that also included such players as Mario Kempes, Osvaldo Ardiles, Ramon Diaz, Daniel Bertoni, Alberto Tarantini, Ubaldo Fillol, and Daniel Passarella, the Argentine side was defeated in the second round by Brazil and by eventual winners Italy. The Italian match is renowned for Maradona being aggressively man-marked by Claudio Gentile, as Italy beat Argentina at the Sarria Stadium in Barcelona, 2-1. Maradona played in all 5 matches without being substituted, scoring twice against Hungary. He was fouled repeatedly in all 5 games and particularly in the last one against Brazil at the Sarria, a game that was blighted by poor officiating and violent fouls. With Argentina already down 3-0 to Brazil, Maradona's temper eventually got the better of him and he was sent off with 5 minutes remaining for a serious retaliatory foul against Batista. 1986 World Cup. Maradona holding the 1986 World Cup trophy. Maradona captained the Argentine national team to victory in the 1986 World Cup in Mexico, winning the final in Mexico City against West Germany. Throughout the tournament, Maradona asserted his dominance and was the most dynamic player of the competition. He played every minute of every Argentina game, scoring 5 goals and making 5 assists, 3 of those in the opening match against South Korea at the Olímpico Universitario Stadium in Mexico City. His first goal of the tournament came against Italy in the second group game in Puebla. Argentina eliminated Uruguay in the first knockout round in Puebla, setting up a match against England at the Azteca Stadium, also in Mexico City. After scoring 2 contrasting goals in the 2-1 quarterfinal win against England, his legend was cemented. The majesty of his second goal and the notoriety of his first led to the French newspaper L'Équipe describing Maradona as half angel, half devil. This match was played with the background of the Falklands War between Argentina and the United Kingdom. Replays show that the first goal was scored by striking the ball with his hand. Maradona was coyly evasive, describing it as a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God. It became known as the Hand of God. Ultimately, on August 22, 2005, Maradona acknowledged on his television show that he had hit the ball with his hand purposely, and no contact with his head was made, and that he immediately knew the goal was illegitimate. This became known as an international fiasco in World Cup history. The goal stood, much to the wrath of the English players. Maradona turns like a little eel and comes away from trouble, little squat man. Comes inside Butcher and leaves him for dead, outside Fennick and leaves him for dead, and puts the ball away. And that is why Maradona is the greatest player in the world. Brian Butler's BBC radio commentary on Maradona's second goal against England. Maradona's second goal, just 4 minutes after the hotly disputed hand goal, was later voted by FIFA as the greatest goal in the history of the World Cup. He received the ball in his own half, swiveled around and with 11 touches ran more than half the length of the field, dribbling past 5 English outfield players, Peter Beardsley, Steve Hodge, Peter Reid, Terry Butcher, and Terry Fennick, before he left goalkeeper Peter Shilting on his backside with a feint, and slotted the ball into the net. This goal was voted Goal of the Century in a 2002 online poll conducted by FIFA. A 2002 Channel 4 poll in the UK saw his performance ranked number 6 in the list of the 100 greatest sporting moments. Maradona right before scoring the goal of the century against England in Mexico 1986. Maradona followed this with 2 more goals in a semi-final match against Belgium at the Azteca, including another virtuoso dribbling display for the second goal. In the final match, West Germany attempted to contain him by double marking, but he nevertheless found the space past the West German player Lothar Matthäus to give the final pass to Jorge Berruchaga for the winning goal. Argentina beat West Germany 3-2 in front of 115,000 fans at the Azteca with Maradona lifting the World Cup as captain. During the tournament, Maradona attempted or created more than half of Argentina's shots, attempted a tournament best 90 dribbles, 3 times more than any other player, and was fouled a record 53 times, winning his team twice as many free kicks as any player. Maradona scored or assisted 10 of Argentina's 14 goals, 71%, including the assist for the winning goal in the final, ensuring that he would be remembered as one of the greatest names in football history. By the end of the World Cup, Maradona went on to win the Golden Ball as the best player of the tournament by unanimous vote and was widely regarded to have won the World Cup virtually single-handedly, something that he later stated he did not entirely agree with. Zinedine Zidane, watching the 1986 World Cup as a 14-year-old, stated Maradona was on another level. In a tribute to him, Azteca Stadium authorities built a statue of him scoring the goal of the century and placed it at the entrance of the stadium. Regarding Maradona's performance at the 1986 World Cup in Mexico, in 2014, Roger Bennett of ESPN FC described it as the most virtuoso performance a World Cup has ever witnessed, while Kevin Baxter of the Los Angeles Times called it one of the greatest individual performances in tournament history, with Stephen Goff of the Washington Post instead dubbing his performance as one of the finest in tournament annals. In 2002, Russell Thomas of The Guardian described Maradona's second goal against England in the 1986 World Cup quarterfinals as arguably the greatest individual goal ever. In a 2009 article for CBC Sports, John Molinaro described the goal as the greatest ever scored in the tournament, and, maybe, in soccer. In a 2018 article for Sportsnet, he added, no other player, not even Pele in 1958 nor Paolo Rossi in 1982, had dominated a single competition the way Maradona did in Mexico. He also went on to say of Maradona's performance, the brilliant Argentine artist single-handedly delivered his country its second World Cup. Regarding his 2 memorable goals against England in the quarterfinals, he commented, yes, it was Maradona's hand, and not God's, that was responsible for the first goal against England. But while the Hand of God goal remains one of the most contentious moments in World Cup history, there can be no disputing that his second goal against England ranks as the greatest ever scored in the tournament. It transcended mere sports, his goal was pure art. 1990 World Cup. Maradona making the defense-splitting pass to Claudio Caniggia, top right, for the winning goal against Brazil, June 24, 1990. Maradona captained Argentina again in the 1990 World Cup in Italy to yet another World Cup final. An ankle injury affected his overall performance, and he was much less dominant than 4 years earlier. After losing their opening game to Cameroon at the San Siro in Milan, Argentina were almost eliminated in the first round, only qualifying in 3rd position from their group. In the round of 16 match against Brazil in Turin, Claudio Caniggia scored the only goal after being set up by Maradona. In the quarterfinal, Argentina faced Yugoslavia in Florence. The match ended 0-0 after 120 minutes, with Argentina advancing in a penalty shootout even though Maradona's kick, a weak shot to the goalkeeper's right, was saved. The semi-final against the host nation Italy at Maradona's club stadium in Naples, the Stadio San Paolo, was also resolved on penalties after a 1-1 draw. This time, however, Maradona was successful with his effort, daringly rolling the ball into the net with an almost exact replica of his unsuccessful kick in the previous round. At the final in Rome, Argentina lost 1-0 to West Germany, the only goal being a penalty by Andreas Brehme in the 85th minute after a controversial foul on Rudi Völler. 1994 World Cup. Maradona going to the drug test after playing v Nigeria, June 25, 1994. At the 1994 World Cup in the United States, Maradona played in only 2 games, both at the Foxborough Stadium near Boston, scoring 1 goal against Greece, before being sent home after failing a drug test for ephedrine doping. After scoring against Greece, Maradona had one of the most remarkable World Cup goal celebrations as he ran towards one of the sideline cameras shouting with a distorted face and bulging eyes. This turned out to be Maradona's last international goal for Argentina. In the second game, a 2-1 victory over Nigeria, which was to be his last game for Argentina, he set up both of his team's goals on free kicks, the second an assist to Caniggia. In his autobiography, Maradona argued that the test result was due to his personal trainer giving him the power drink Rip Fuel. His claim was that the US version, unlike the Argentine one, contained the chemical and that, having run out of his Argentine dosage, his trainer unwittingly bought the US formula. FIFA expelled him from USA 94, and Argentina were subsequently eliminated in the round of 16 by Romania in Los Angeles. Maradona has also separately claimed that he had an agreement with FIFA, on which the organization reneged, to allow him to use the drug for weight loss before the competition in order to be able to play. His failed drug test at the 1994 World Cup signaled the end of his international career, which lasted 17 years and yielded 34 goals from 91 games, including 1 winner's medal and 1 runners-up medal in the World Cup.